The Aggies of College Station are traveling to South Bend to take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the second game of a home and home. Notre Dame is favored by 7. You can get it 6.5 some places. We'll pick it at 7 here to help me out. Uh, this is interesting, man. Last year we came into this game thinking, "Holy cow! Like, what is Notre Dame going to do in the offensive line?" A&M has like 4 NFL defensive linemen there, 3 that are going to be taken in the 2025 draft. Like, what are they going to do? They're starting a true freshman at left tackle. No Charles Jagsaw. Didn't matter. It did not matter for them at all. That offensive line got it together. While it's looking a little bit different so far to start this season, that defense looks a little bit leakier than it was last year. That defense that was so good for them, even with all their injuries down the stretch on that defensive line. Like the reason why we were so high on this Notre Dame team, see heading into the season, it's like we're in the national media. You had injuries on your offensive line and your defensive line and in your secondary all year long, and it didn't matter. It did not matter. You had a winner at quarterback. You had a coaching staff that did enough and you just found ways to win football games with great special teams, as well as just being disciplined, taking care of the football. Are you going to see that? Are you going to see that this Saturday in South Bend? You're playing against a Texas A&M team that has quite a bit more explosiveness on the offense side of the ball. These receivers look really good, like something that A&M has not seen in like a decade. That's the kind of level of receiver that you're talking about. While you have a fantastic secondary over at Notre Dame, they haven't really opened up the can with Le'Veon Moss. They're still ramping him back up. Ruben Ohms, they're ramping up that running back room. Injury to Trey Zune, don't know if he'll play or not, and how that will impact this team. Robert Bourdon might be getting the start there left tackle, but CD, how are you feeling about this game?
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, like I see that line and that feels large to me. And the other thing too is I just we go back to what we thought preseason wise, right? Like I think A&M is better this year than they were last year. I think Notre Dame is probably a step back than they were last year. And so like that, I'm looking at this line and I'm seeing the equation and I don't quite see it at 7 for Notre Dame to cover, especially with breaking their new quarterback. It'll be nice. He'll be back at home. We'll have that kind of chance. And the other thing too is we've seen A&M in big games struggle with big plays and breakdowns in the secondary. They play good football 90% of the time, and you have a couple breakdowns on third down, long plays, etc., etc. It just can't happen if you're going to go on the road into a tough environment against a very good and well-coached football team. If you want to get a win here, or in our case, cover, if we're picking this game, it'll be interesting. I do want to bring up, though, I love how you brought up the A&M wide receivers and what they can do. I think we saw Miami at times. Malachi Tony, the true freshman, CJ Daniels, right? A couple guys that made really big time plays for you. And like that's the difference. A&M has not had that. When you need to go toe to toe against good football teams, you need players to make plays. And as stupid as that sounds, like that has not been the case for A&M. For all the talent they brought in on both sides of the ball, recruiting classes, all that stuff, you haven't seen the difference makers. Like you thought Marshall Reed was going to be a guy with his legs. He still can be for sure. But having those run after catch guys, having those explosive players, Mara Craver, Casey Concepcion, Terry Bussey got involved, and there's others too at the tight end position as well. I'm gonna go A&M plus 7. I do worry about um like I do believe A&M can stop the run. Like I was worried that offensive line that Notre Dame trotted out there is very solid and like they're obviously athletic and well coached, but Miami they took care of business on their defensive line, and I think A&M's got the same kind of cats that Miami does too. I think you can pop the run, you put it on CJ Carr, and make them go, and then we'll see Marcel Reed as a passer. So we'll go win this football game. The other thing I do want to bring up is it is Mike Elko's return back to Notre Dame. Right, he was the defensive coordinator there not too long ago, 2017, for a year before he came to Texas A&M as defensive coordinator, ultimately ended up at Duke and now back as the head coach here for the Fighting Texas Aggies. But yeah, man, A&M plus 7.
Yeah, I'll take the plus 7 as well. I think Notre Dame. I'll take Notre Dame to win. A&M to cover. If A&M wins this game, though, like you have to have that conversation about them being a contender in the SEC. I do think watching those first two games, the offensive and defensive line was not as dominant as I think fans wanted to see, right? I think the defensive line definitely you still gave up some explosive plays in the rushing attack, which is concerning. Which last year that cost you the game, right? Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, both explosive runs when you needed them to not happen at the most inconvenient times. Going on the road is tough too. A&M I don't think has beaten an AP like top 15 team on the road since like 2014. That's a yikes, right? That's a
Oh my
yikes.
gosh.
So yeah, that's a yikes. But ultimately, I do think that A&M will cover this 7. I think it's too many points. I think it's way too many points. Will not be on my best bets though, because again, that left tackle spot, if Trey Zune's not there, or if he's not 100%, I like Robert Bourdon. It's a big stage, though, to be getting your first start, though, at left tackle. It's just a second-year guy, right? So, I
Can
like
I
it, though. And +7.
can I
What do you
ask
got?
you, with Notre Dame, looking at their schedule, and I hate to do this in September because here we were, and a lot of people saying when they lost to NIU last year, like, no, they should not be in the playoffs. And ultimately, they ended up going to the playoffs, whether you wanted them to or not, winning a couple games and ending up right there as runner ups last year. Looking at their schedule, and we talked about like this was going to be a schedule for them that was very front heavy, very front loaded with Miami and Texas A&M right at the top there. You lose to Miami in a tough one down in Coral Gables. And I'm looking at your schedule, man. I mean, NC State's not who they once were. Boise State looks to take a big step back, looking for signature wins. USC is still on there, but that's about it, man. Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford, those will not be resume boosters. Purdue still work in progress at Arkansas. I think we will appreciate that win a lot more than the College Football Playoff Committee. If you're a Notre Dame fan, if you're Notre Dame, like, this is a massive game for you. Like, in terms of, obviously, a lot can happen in 10 weeks, whatever can happen, but this is huge. Like, Notre Dame loses, especially if you don't look great. It might be tough to recover.
I agree with you. I do think that Arkansas will be better, especially if they get a win over Ole Miss this weekend. That'd be crazy. I think Pitt will secure some wins. I think Navy's going to be a dominating team there in the American. I think Boston. I don't know. Like they'll find a way to justify it. I think they'll find a way to justify a 10-win Notre Dame team to get in. I really do.